Hello, Oklahoma Conference Church family. My name is Cindy Mercer, Oklahoma Conference Prayer Coordinator, and I want to share some exciting news with you about a prayer conference we're planning for you and your family this fall, October 25 through 27, at Tulsa Adventist Fellowship, titled Unity at the Cross. It's a place where you can bring your little ones, your teenagers, your young adults, and even for the older generation, which includes me. You know, the Bible tells us in 2 Chronicles 7:14, if my people, who are called by my name, would humble themselves and seek his face and pray and turn from their wicked ways, then he would hear from heaven and heal our land. Friends, do we need prayer in our lives individually? Do we need prayer in our churches? Do we need prayer in our homes?
The basis for everything that we do in the Oklahoma Conference must be rooted in prayer and must be driven by prayer.
If we as a church band together and pray, then we can't help but be unified through Jesus. It doesn't mean that everybody's going to agree on everything, but it does mean that we can agree on one common denominator, and that's Jesus.
Learning to pray is definitely something that I think everybody should know how to do.
It's a sad thing that we have to teach anybody how to pray. It ought to be a natural thing to pray. You know, someone has said prayer is the breath of the soul, and nobody has to teach us to breathe. It's kind of a natural thing to do. And yet I think we need to be reminded about prayer. We need to be encouraged about prayer. We need to be enthusiastic about prayer.
I think it'd just be good for us and other people to just learn how to pray together as a family.
It's a way that our family is kind of growing closer to God while growing closer to each other.
Your kids already know you're not perfect, but when they see you seeking after God, they want that. It helps them realize they don't have to be perfect either. And when something is wrong or something is amiss, they know how to get it right again.
I feel like it kind of helps me solve problems, and even if it doesn't right away, it helps me feel better about the problems I can't fix.
I've been to the place in my life where prayer and God was all I had, and so I really looked forward to talking to anybody and praying with anybody who would pray with me, because it made me feel like safe, and it gave me that connection with God that I needed at the time.
I'm choosing to bring my students to the prayer conference, to take them out of school to do this, because our focus in the classroom is very God-centered, very relationship-oriented, and I want them to realize that they are not the only ones that seek God when there's trouble. They need to be strengthened by numbers. They need to realize that not only do we have a group of people across Oklahoma, Seventh-day Adventist Christians, that are seeking prayer, but they have relationships that can be built. And right now, through this prayer conference, we can begin to build relationships that will literally last into eternity.
To me, this isn't a conference. It's not a set of meetings. This is a chance to really reconnect with our Father. And when I look at the prayer conference as a whole, and I think about the speakers that are coming in, I'm excited, because this is an opportunity that we have to equip ourselves as individuals, as a family, and as a church. And that's the goal of this prayer conference.
This is not going to be a time of entertainment, and it's not going to be a time of theoretical instruction. It's going to be a time of experiencing prayer, and I'd like to have all of our people, as many of our people as possible, in the Oklahoma Conference to be part of that experience. And then I would hope that we would go from this conference renewed with our confidence in prayer and renewed in the experience of prayer, so that prayer will become more natural, the thing that we'll do first before we do anything else.
Remember, friends, the Oklahoma Prayer Conference this fall, October 25 through 27, with two wonderful keynote speakers, Steve Case and Ivor Myers. There are limited registrations, so you must register at www.plusline.org. Please remember Oklahoma 2% as you give this Sabbath, as many ministries benefit from this wonderful offering of Oklahoma 2%. Thank you, and God bless.